Cauldron of Cerridwen, 2 plays with no metrical structure by Valentin Bura. Full text provided for your entertainment and edification. Motivation. When you walk with tall people, you're straightening your back. Part 1. Habanera, a play in 4 acts. Dramatics personae. Places: early 19th century Seville. Early 19th century Paris. Act 4 only. Magus Baffo. Local tradesperson in Seville, and supplier of fresh flowers for Miss Carmencita's flower shop. Carmencita, a local florist running a flower shop in a plaza in Seville. Michaela, Carmencita's faithful friend and confidant. Don Jose, a local policeman in Seville. Liaz Pastia, local innkeeper at the outskirts of Seville. Marcus Calleja, a Maltese diplomat. Madame X, a local landlady in 19th century Paris. Monsieur Jules, faithful servant of Madame X. Monsieur Victor, faithful servant of Madame X. Other citizens of 19th century Seville and of 19th century Paris. Act 1. I Sing for My Beloved, in which Carmencita, advised by Michaela, decides to seduce Don Jose. While persuading him to initially act as an associate in the flower business she runs together with Magus Baffo. Scene 1. Baffo plays backgammon. Michaela, my dear Carmencita, what a wonderful day today for the florist trade, isn't it? Carmencita, yes, dear Michaela. If only Magus Baffo would bring the fresh supply he owes me already. He does like to take his time lately. Michaela, speaking of Wharf, there he is, coming this way right now. Magus Baffo, good morning, ladies. Hope I haven't caught you ladies at a wrong moment. Carmencita, oh no, dear Baffo. We were expecting you and your fresh load of flowers. Magus Baffo, well, here they are, ladies. Let us unload them, so I can finish the backgammon game I started with Signor Calleja yesterday. The 3 of them start unloading the flowers from Baffo's cartwheel. When they finish, Baffo excuses himself politely and leaves. Carmencita, so here they are, my flowers. Dear Michaela. Michaela, I really think you should have Don Jose help you water your garden, dear Carmencita. I hear he's a strong, faithful fellow. He could be of great help to us, you know. Carmencita, Don Jose is crazy after me, dear Michaela. There's not one day that passes that he's not visiting my shop. Michaela, that is good for business, dear. Carmencita, it's good to have friends in the legal profession. Scene 2. Carmencita, my love. Carmencita receives a visit from Don Jose. Don Jose, my dear Carmencita, how is the flower business going today for you? Carmencita, never ask a lady about business. If what you mean is it's like the flower. BSA. Carmencita, Carmencita. Touch A, Carmencita. Speak to me, Carmencita. Carmencita, I don't speak to you. I sing for my beloved. I sing for my beloved. Carmencita, do you say these wonderful words to many men, Carmencita? Carmencita, lovely, sweet words are scarce in business, Don Jose. Don Jose, I love you. Carmencita, my love. Carmencita, I love you more than everything, my beloved Don Jose. End of Act 1. Act 2. No pickpocketing in this city, in which Carmencita and Michaela are accused publicly of thievery. They decide to split up, while Carmencita seeks further counsel from her friend Lilas Pastia. Carmencita, Michaela, my dear, I think this is a good day for the flower business, especially on this lovely weather. Michaela, yes, Carmencita, my dear, I concur. It seems to be extremely busy when the weather is so nice. Suddenly, a citizen approaches the 2 florists, accusing them they've been pickpocketing him the day before. Citizen, excuse me, girls. Have you girls been pickpocketing me yesterday? My wallet went missing after visiting your flower shop yesterday. After a heated debate, the citizen alerts the patrolling police. Policeman, senoritas, you will have to accompany us to the police station this afternoon. Michaela, Mr. Policeman, can't it wait for another day? We're busy with our flower trade this afternoon, and our plea is not guilty, anyway. So, it is our word against his. Policeman, I'm afraid you need to accompany us for further investigation. Don Jose intervenes and convinces the policeman to let them go for the day. Carmencita closes the shop and splits to her friend Liaz Pastia. Don Jose addressing policeman, let them go for the day, officer. I am taking over from here. End of Act 2. Act 3. Carmencita decides to run away. In which Carmencita, advised by Lilas Pastia, decides to run away and seek shelter in France. Lilas Pastia and Marcus Calleja are eating dinner together at Pastia's inn. Carmencita arrives in a hurry. Lilas Pastia, Carmencita, I see you arrived in a hurry. Is there anything wrong with you? Carmencita, yes. I and Michaela have been accused of thievery. Some old man that visited my shop said we took his wallet yesterday. Don Jose intervened, but police must be searching for me as we speak. Marcus Calleja, excuse me, Carmencita, I heard that. I'd stay away from police in this country if I were you. I hear they have brutality in their methods. Lilas Pastia, so what are you going to do, Carmencita? Carmencita, maybe travel to France? I sure hope Madame X will accept me in her coven over there. End of Act 3. Act 4. At the outskirts of Paris. In which Carmencita arrives in France and seeks shelter from a fellow witch named Madame X, an established name in Paris. Carmencita meets Madame X at an inn at the outskirts of Paris. Madame X is accompanied Monsieur Jules and Monsieur Victor. Madame X, and how may I be of help, Carmencita? These two gentlemen accompanied me today, and they are here with us now. I'm sure you appreciate I'm doing you a favor in meeting you right now, at such short notice. Carmencita, Madam, I was hoping you'd be kind enough to offer me shelter. I could be a servant in your business. I mind my own things well. Plus, I'm also a hard worker and a faithful laborer. They don't want me in Spain anymore, you know. Madame X, who sends you here? Do you have recommendations? Carmencita, a gentleman by the name of Marcus Calleja, advised I should flee Spain. He's from Malta, if I remember correctly. Madame X, enough said. Jules, Victor, seize her. Monsieur Jules and Monsieur Victor take hold of Carmencita. Victor cuts her throat. The end of Habanera. Part 2. Madame X. A play in 3 acts. Dramatis personae. Places. Late 18th century Paris. An inn at the outskirts of Paris. Act 1. Early 20th century Paris. A restaurant in Paris. Act 2. Mid-20th century Paris. A fancy coffee shop in Paris. Act 3. Madame X. A local hospitality owner and maitre. Magus Jacques. An 18th century servant of Madame X. Magus Arthur. An early 20th century servant of Madame X. Magus George. Madame X's faithful servant and confidant. Madame X's faithful servant and confidant. Faithful servant of Madame X in late 18th century Paris. Vladimir Ilyich, a public intellectual frequenting Madame X's establishment in the early 20th century. Various intellectuals. Other citizens of Paris. Act 1. Eros and Thanatos, in which a crime of passion takes place in Paris. The murderer is apprehended and executed. Scene 1. A flirtatious affair. Mademoiselle Jacqueline addressing Victor. Monsieur Victor, please give me a hand in rinsing the cauldron of Cerridwen. Madame X and I had a party last night. Monsieur Victor, of course, Jacqueline. Was the party fun? Mademoiselle Jacqueline, stay after hours, I'll tell you all about it. I just love how you can stimulate a lady intellectually, Victor. Monsieur Victor, and you just love intellectual stimulation, because? Mademoiselle Jacqueline, out of all types of stimulation, I find that the most preferable. Wouldn't you agree? Monsieur Victor. Okay, let me have a look at this pot. My goodness, Jacqueline. Is this blood? Mademoiselle Jacqueline. Oh yes, my dear Victor. We had to slaughter pigs for our rituals. Hope you don't mind helping me cleaning this mess. Monsieur Victor. Right. And what sort of rituals are those, Jacqueline? Mademoiselle Jacqueline. I wish I could tell you, dear Victor, but it's a secret. It's a secret. Scene 2. Murder in town. Monsieur Victor. Dear Jacqueline. That was a bit of work, actually. Oh look, speaking of pigs, here's Pascal coming our way. Mademoiselle Jacqueline whispered. He mustn't come in the shop, Victor. Just divert him. Divert him, I say, if you feel for me. Just divert him, Victor. Monsieur Pascal, Jacqueline, Victor, how are we doing today? I see you're cleaning a large pot. Got to work early in the morning. Very nice of you, I must say. Mademoiselle Jacqueline whispered. My goodness. There he goes. There he goes. Mademoiselle Jacqueline addressing Pascal. Monsieur Pascal. Always a great pleasure having you at our humble establishment. You're easy on the eye lately, Pascal. I see you're growing a tidy moustache. Monsieur Pascal. Ah, you noticed, Jacqueline. Thank you very much. Are you open already? Can Madame serve me a coffee? Pascal turns his back on the two workers and tries to enter the inn through the front door. Monsieur Victor administers Pascal a blow in the head from behind, then stabs him 3 times while on the ground. The front piazza is quickly filled with people, and they place Victor under citizen's arrest. Scene 3. The gibbet. Monsieur Victor is escorted to the execution place by prison guards in a piazza in the center of Paris. Victorio doesn't pose resistance and is visibly weakened physically by the prison regime. Victor, my dear Jacqueline. Are you here, Jacqueline? Jacqueline, are you here? Prison guard, she's not here, you fool. Now quit this nonsense. Victor, you will tell her I love her. Will you? End of Act 1. Act 2. The Conspirators, in which a group of intellectuals are debating various topics in Madame X's establishment in the beginning of the 20th century. Citizen 1, Vladimir Ilyich, tell us more about the situation in Britain. What is it really going on over there? Citizen 2, yes, Vladimir, tell us more. What is the reason for this turmoil and all of the folklore going on about workers' parties? Vladimir Ilyich, well, it's very simple, brothers. The infrastructure has been seized by Freemasonry and being used for its sole purposes. Poor people are starving, their women are being abused, while their kids are forced into manual labor since an early age. Citizen 1. But that's not an unusual thing now, is it? Politics has always governed the way people lived. Citizen 2. Yes, Vladimir. And let us not forget about the Great Fire of London of 1666. Somebody, probably the Maltese, injected a few lepers and the entire city had to burn. The life of common people has always been dictated by higher politics. Vladimir Ilyich. Well, that was 300 years ago. This century belongs to the workers, brothers. Madame X enters the room. The guests seem pleasantly affected. Madame X calls for Arthur, then addresses Vladimir. Madame X. Arthur, serve these gentlemen some beer. They seem to be having a round table. Arthur, of course, Madame. Madame X. Vladimir Ilyich, you're with us again. Welcome back. We don't get to see you that much these days. You're either in London, or Berlin, or Moscow, or heaven knows where. Vladimir Ilyich. Duties of the revolutionary trade, Madame. And how have you ladies been since I last saw you? I see Mademoiselle Jacqueline is preparing the same wonderful pork chops as 5 years ago. Madame X. We hope our food will most definitely make you return to us on a timelier manner, Vladimir. And how is the revolutionary trade treating you? Lots of successes? Vladimir Ilyich. You know I'm unable to disclose too much, Madame. Madame X. Well, in that case, stay after hours, will you? Jacqueline and I, we are both eager to see you for a chat. Vladimir Ilyich. Yes, I believe I can do that, madam. Madam X exits the room. Citizen 1. So, the ghost of communism is taking over our old continent. And it is all due to Masonic abuse this time. Well, disguised Maltese abuse. For that's where Masonry is from. The everlasting abuse of mankind on itself. A crying shame. Citizen 2. Yes, that's a crying shame, isn't it? Vladimir Ilyich. Well, I really think human stupidity isn't to be underestimated in this particular case. End of Act 2. Act 3. Are you feminist, madame? In which Magus George and Madame X hold an intimate conversation. Place, mid-20th century coffee shop in Paris, owned by Madame X. Madame X. Good morning, George. Isn't this just a lovely day for serving coffee to artists and intellectuals? George's. Yes, madame. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Are you feminist, madame? Madame X. No, I am not. Perhaps in the next decade or so. I really hope Jacqueline has already started grinding that coffee. We're expecting quite a crowd today. Ah, look at our wonderful rose bush. The flowers are in bloom. Aren't they just lovely, George? George, I sense you're a little preoccupied today. What is the matter? George, some people talk about us, madame. And those that talk about us are increasing in numbers. Madame X, is that right, George? And what sort of things do they say about us? George, the usual nonsense blabbering, I guess. Some of them entertain the opinion that our business here is dubious in some form or another. Others go as far as saying that you've been here since the revolution of 1789. Nonsense things like that, I guess. Madam X, and who precisely puts these ideas in their heads, George? George, it is very hard to speculate on this, madam. Madam X, well, you must be able to give me an indication here. Don't just leave me in the dark. Just like that. George, well, they seem to be mostly kids playing in the streets, madam. They seem to come up with the craziest of stories. Madam X, and do these stories have any form of credibility, George? In your own words, in your own humble opinion. An opinion, George, please. George, no, madam. In my opinion, I don't think there's any credibility to these rumors. Madam X, in that case, Jacqueline and I will see this city next century too. I hope it stays as interesting as it is today. Let's get to work now. We're expecting quite a crowd today. The end of Madam X.